Hello and welcome to the OutPower Newscast. On today's newscast, we're going to talk about the OutSystems events and to the new updates made to the OutSystems documentation. We also explore an article that explains what is a circuit breaker design pattern, and as usual, we go over this week's highlights from the OutSystems community. This week, let's start by talking about one type of OutSystems events, the Tech Talks. Under this category, we noticed that there are some new events scheduled for the next couple of months. These are the RPA Hit or Miss, and the Web and Mobile Architecture with the Architecture Dashboard during the month of June, Converting an existing portfolio to Reactive Web in July, and Workflow Builder in August. To be able to attend these webinars, you need to register for them. You can do that by going to the Tech Talk page, select the webinar that you wish to attend, and provide the necessary information. You can reach the Tech Talk page at the following link, where you can explore, find more information, and register for the available webinars. New updates have been made available in the OutSystems documentation. And this week we can count with articles and new how-tos that will help us improve our applications. For this week's improvements on the documentation, we can count with the following. On Reactive Web and Mobile, we have these. And on Traditional Web, we have the following improvements. As before, check them out. And if you have any feedback, please let OutSystems know. For more information, navigate to the forum post at this page. After these latest news, let's jump over to the Hints and How-To segment. Next, we'll talk about an interesting article that explains how we can export our high charts to a PDF or image. It is common to have complex rendered charts in our OutSystems applications, but imagine that we would like to make that chart available in a printable report available to the user. This is where this how-to comes in. It provides us with step-by-step instructions explaining how to create an OutSystems application with a chart and export it to a PDF document. You can reach the mentioned guide by navigating to this page. Next, we're going to talk about the development pattern that helps our application deal with timeouts when dependent on another system. The design pattern is called Circuit Breaker, and OutSystems put out an article that explains how to apply this pattern to REST APIs. The concept of Circuit Breaker pattern for our case is we create a system where all API calls are monitored for failure. If there is a timeout failure, the circuit moves from closed to open state, and all further calls to the API don't reach the external system. With this, the infrastructure is saved of being flooded with failed requests on a service that you already know that is down. The article, besides explaining the design pattern, it also shows how we can apply the strategy to OutSystems, providing us with all the necessary steps. In case this article sparks your interest, you can reach the blog post at the link below. Next, let's have a look at the Forge. After checking what the community members have been publishing on the Forge, we have this selection for this week's top picks. And now for our last segment, we're going to check the idea of the week. On the last segment of the newscast, we're going to talk about the idea that stirred the most the imagination of the community members. And that was to collapse the entity attributes on the diagram. In some cases, entities can get a fair number of attributes, and that can make it more difficult to use them in the entity diagram due to the amount of space that they take. So this idea suggests that it would be nice to be able to collapse the entity attributes, leaving us with a cleaner canvas and a clearer picture of our database architecture. If you wish to support this idea, you can do it by reaching it at this ideas page. And with that, we wrap up today's newscast. Thank you very much for watching, and please join us next time for more OutSystems news by OutPower. Have a nice day.